Welcome to the Toms River Show. Pat Amelia here, your concerned Toms River resident. Why we do the show? I have a glass of Diet Pepsi today, a cup of Diet Pepsi. It's a nice day in Seaside. It rained a little bit before. I got my Seaside attire on. That's how you know it's Seaside season. I got my Sheldon type shirts on. Sheldon Cooper. My wife calls them character shirts. Don't forget all the sites. You got the HMG TV shows. You got our YouTube. You got live stream. You got Instagram. You got, I think by now, we got Facebook, but I think by now we're probably on NJ On Air. You can watch all our shows there. Like with live stream, download the app. You can watch all our shows free of charge. And there's a lot of other programming. And that's the same thing with NJ On Air. There's a lot of programming on there, and it's free, all via streaming networks. So if you got a smart TV, you got a computer, you can watch NJ On Air. Same as Facebook or Hulu or Netflix. I got all that stuff. Pine Rest Motel here in Seaside Heights is no more. It is gone. Level. Cleanly done, too. There is talk of a hotel coming there. A Holiday Inn or a Wynwood, one of those things. It cannot hurt having that on Route 37. The more traffic we can get on Route 37, and you're listening to a guy who cannot stand traffic. But the more traffic we can get, it's the better for the businesses. Because the closer you get to Seaside, you have a lot of vacancies. A lot of business vacancies, commercial vacancies that we need to get filled, because that creates jobs. That helps the ratables. That cuts your taxes. You know, every location I looked at 3+ years ago for this studio, every one is still vacant. And that's amazing. Toms River Diner, a freaking gold mine, obviously, has reopened after being closed for 3 years. I went twice to go to the Toms River Diner. Twice there was no parking. All the spots were full. And that is a good sign. Makes you wonder, why was that place closed for 3 years? Yeah, obviously a gold mine there. And the same people who run the diner over on Mule Road down on 37 are running that. I think it's the Holiday Diner are running this one. Now, obviously, they're doing a great job because this place is packed all the time. It's not 24 hours anymore. It closes at, I think, 11 o'clock. But it is packed. AAA, you know them as the people who tow you, and if you don't have AAA for your cards, there's something wrong with you. It's the best insurance you can have. Coming down Thursday night. The van, a wire broke for my fuel injectors. Van coasted into the new renovated service area on Turnpike. Got towed. Problem with AAA, and it's probably contract money, that's what it is. You got to get towed off the Turnpike. They drop you in like wherever, and then another tow company has to come. So they towed it. They had 2 tows. Got to talk to the state about that. That's inconvenient, too. It could be your daughter being dropped off in some mall at 10 o'clock at night. AAA also does auto repairs. They did the repairs on the van. They fixed the wiring. Guy found that. Good call on his part. He found electrical before he thought it was the fuel pump. They did a front axle brake job on the van. It might be on a little steep side, but I tell you, there's a lot of touches with AAA. They did a good job. They rotated all the tires. They did a good inspection. The repairs they did were top-notch. I just thought they may be about 20% higher than they should be. But when you add in all the little touches, maybe that's not too bad. They did a good professional job, and the thing that impressed me the most, they did it once. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching the Toms River Show. I'll be right back. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. It takes more than a state-of-the-art medical facility to make a great hospital. It takes a team of dedicated medical professionals.
That's the Jersey City Medical Center, Hudson County's #1 hospital. Medical teams consisting of New Jersey's top doctors, Magnet Award-winning nurses, and accomplished hospital associates, all committed to your good health. That's what you have at the Jersey City Medical Center. Make Hudson County's #1 hospital your first choice. Visit us on the web at barnabashealth.org.
We're back. Toms River Show. Pat O'Melia, you concerned Toms River resident. By the way, that AAA is right here on Route 37. If you don't have AAA, you're crazy. The tow truck guy was telling me there's three. I got the top AAA. Said there were 3 versions of AAA. And one was like basic, or you get towed for like 5. Where are you going for 5 miles? The most you can get towed is 5 miles. I tell you, towing's expensive. It's like $5 a mile. All right, the game is on. The game is afoot here in Toms River. We are in the election season. It'll probably kick off more as we get into the summer. Right now, everybody's feeling things out. Mo Hill is the GOP nominee. He's got the line. You got the problem with the Toms River Republican Club. Mo Hill's the guy. The Toms River Republican Club, for all intended purposes, probably doesn't exist anymore unless they can get Mo Hill back in, because Mo had resigned. Mo Hill becomes mayor. Mo Hill could start his own club. Mo Hill could probably start his own club now. What the Toms River Republican Club should have done a while back. I said, listen, Mo Hill wants to run, Joe wants to run, we'll stay neutral. They didn't do that. So now the game is afoot. You got Jonathan Petro. He's the head of the Toms River Chamber of Commerce. We'll probably start bringing these guys in, do some one-on-one interviews. I will do at least one televised debate. It was very successful. The one we did with Coronado, Hill, and Roderick. So we'll do one. I don't know, Chris Lundy, or maybe we do the reporter from the Patch, Karen Wall. There's a lot of guys involved, so it probably wouldn't hurt to break it up a little bit. So let's look at this election coming forward. What are the issues? What do you need to find out about these two candidates? Now, Mo Hill, right off the bat, you probably heard it. Mo is status quo. Mo will fist fight you if you say that to him. The Admiral he's making it very clear he is far different than Tom Kelleher. And he's going to run a different town hall than Mayor Kelleher has. And he needs to do that, because if he comes across as Mo is status quo, the last election 2 years ago, when it was the ward leaders, the Dems took 3 of the 4 council seats. And my buddy, Maria Maruca, she retained her seat by like 245 votes. So this is going to be a very contested election. And, we're going to talk about the campaign, the language of campaigns in this show. You're going to see a really dirty campaign coming up. But really, as I was writing the show in one of the segments where we're going to talk about the language of campaigns, is there any other kind in New Jersey? Really, there isn't. Now, Jonathan Petro, as far as I can tell, has 0 municipal experience. He's never been a mayor, never been a councilman. So a question for him, how are you going to run this town? You have no experience. What is your town hall going to look like? How are you going to run the departments? What changes are you going to make? Because both of them are going to talk about cutting taxes, and they need to talk about that. For that matter, you need to press these people that it's more than just talk. There has got to be concrete methods of reducing the Toms River budget, concrete methods of reducing your property taxes. None of this, again, I'm going to talk about the language of campaigns, but you're going to have to nail both of these candidates to the wall and say, how are you going to do this? Town budget, you're going to cut the budget. How much and how are you going to do it? That's important. What are the steps you're going to take? The school budget. Yeah, you got 3 aspects to your property tax bill. You got the county, you got the school, and you got the town. The mayor of Toms River has 0 control over the school budget or the county. That becomes a problem because he can hold taxes. again, my comparison is Jersey City. Mayor Fulop has done a tremendous job holding the taxes flat since he's been the mayor. Over the course of his 6 years, I guess, he just put through a 2% increase. But he can't control the county, who just banged Jersey City again, and he can't control the schools, which just raised the taxes. Somehow, the mayor has to have influence on both aspects of that tax bill, because most people get the tax bill, they go, damn mayor. Yeah, well, that's a three-pronged tax bill. A lot of people don't realize that. So the mayor is going to have to figure out how he can influence the school budget. Now, the school budget was cut $2.8 million this year, which was like 1.5%. And, sky was falling. Oh, my God, we're going to have to lay off everybody, 400 layoff. 1.5% cut this year. I think it was a real overreaction. If you can't handle a 1.5% cut in your budget, then you probably shouldn't be running that budget. You probably got to get somebody else in there, because there are going to be real cuts coming. And if this is how Superintendent Healy and the Board of Education acted when they were out $2.8 million, it's going to be shaky and scary what happens when there's real money. And the mayor's going to have to figure out how he can influence this. Again, going back to Mount Pilot there, Jersey City, Mayor Fulop is working on all sorts of ways of using surplus money to help the Board of Ed. Shared services, we have talked about it on the Toms River Show for the last 2 years. This is the time you got to press these guys, Hill and Petro. How are you going to do the shared services? How do you see it saving the people of Toms River money? I want to know about shared services with municipalities, the county, and the state. The state's doing road work on Route 37. Well, Toms River can do the road work, and we can build a state. The more we can spread out the expenses, the better off it is for everyone, and particularly the taxpayers of Toms River. Development. You got the red carpet in, and you got the SEBA development site. What are you going to do there in development as a whole? That was a big issue 2 years ago. You're going to have to nail that down. You're going to have to etch that in writing, or in this case, stone. We're going to break the commercial. You're watching the Toms River Show. I'll be right back.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Toms River Show, me here, you there. I hope I am informing you and entertaining you at the same time. Inform and entertain. You watch this on YouTube a lot, and live stream. We do quite a bit with the Toms River Show there. Language of campaign. There was just an issue with the Toms River Council where they have a problem with Roderick. They sanctioned him. They asked him to resign, which wasn't going to happen, but it made good for good theater. Here's the problem with the language of campaigns. It's Jersey politics. It gets dirty. You don't like what's being said or what's being implied, maybe you shouldn't be in politics. Again, this is Jersey politics, and it gets dirty. I often talk about, going back to North Jersey, how politics changes when you get north of the Coach House in Union City, into West New York, North Bergen, Guttenberg, Weehawken. I mean, that's a blood sport up there. We're a little more sophisticated in Jersey City and Bayonne and Secaucus. We're not like they are in North Hudson, but it is a blood sport there, and it's scorched earth. It is scorched earth amongst friends, and it's pretty much, maybe not to the degree of a North Hudson campaign, but all these campaigns are dirty, and they're full of lies and fabrications and innuendo. And there is little or no truth in most campaign literature, especially the attack kind, where you see a candidate with a couple of blondes maybe, or somebody who has a gangster reputation. Somehow, if you're in a public light, you're going to get into a lot of pictures, and people can make those pictures say 1,000 words. It's what was the thing with the California Raisins? I'm trying to think of the name of the song. Don't believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. Not the California. The song will come through. It's going to be an earworm now. That's campaigns. You can't take it to heart. It's politics. And it's described constantly in New Jersey, Chicago, the rough and tumble world of politics. And you know what? It's true. I've been covering this for a long time. There's some stuff I would see mailed to my house. Like, I know these guys. I know this isn't true. But this is what would be implied or inferred, that this candidate did that, whatever the case was. And keep in mind, as you just seen in the GOP primary, Hill, Roderick, and Coronado, they all know each other. Hill and Coronado are probably best of friends, or at least very good acquaintances. Same thing with Roderick. You wouldn't know that from the campaign because they're all trying to get the edge at any cost. And it goes both ways. In politics, you got to have like a two-sided brain. There's some psychologists said we do work with two sides of our brain. You need a two-sided brain and a very short memory, because it is incredible on how the language of campaigns work, on how dirty it gets, and how you got to have your logic and you got to be able to read through the BS of these campaigns. It's the attack, and one of the reasons we probably do not get our best possible candidates to run for office is this very thing on how dirty the campaigns get, where every skeleton you have in your closet comes out in the public and it starts dancing around. Everything about you is going to come out in a campaign, and the higher the level of the elected office, the worse that spotlight gets. Everything you've done. And now in a world of social media, every tweet that you may have tweeted 12 years ago can come back. A girlfriend from 30 years ago, she could come back. It's incredible. But that's how the campaigns have devolved into such a despicable way of trying to get into office. And there's no way you're going to clean it up. Now, we've taken steps. There's literature. It should say who it's paid by. But that never happens. You get these flyers that appear a day or two before the election with all sorts of claims on them. They're stuck on the windshield wipers of the cars. Yes, anything that is printed should say by who, what print shop at least. And the thing is, like we just went through with the primary, these guys all know each other. But if you watch the debate, you sit there shaking your head and say, man, you guys are all the same party? And this type of dialogue that occurred in the debates in the GOP primary campaign with any indication of how it's going to be when it's Republican versus Democrat, that's going to get very interesting. Joe Ficarri, friend of mine, 36-time freeholder. He's now in the Freeholder Hall of Fame. Yes, there is one of those. He had a lawsuit against Vision Media. You probably don't know Vision Media, but they're owned by acquaintances of mine, friends of mine, the Swabinskis, Paul and his son Phil. And they work on camp. That's their backbone. And again, with the Swabinskis and Vision Media, you either love them or hate them. If they're with you, you love them. If they're not with you, you hate them. But that's what the campaigns are. And the campaign got very dirty 3 years ago with Joe Ficarri. And Ficarri sued. Not sure what became of all that. I think it was all dropped. But probably is a good reason why we don't get the best possible candidate. Because who the hell, you had a successful life, you were young at one time, probably just some young and dumb. Who knows? All that comes out. And you really want that all coming out for a job that pays probably like $60,000 a year when you're a successful person in your own private life? That's why we don't get a lot of these guys. Why we don't get a lot of these guys and gals who are probably the best people for those jobs. They don't want to go through this. And you can't blame them. But it could only get worse. But one interesting thing here, and I want to make sure I say this and bring this out. If Toms River falls to the Democrats, there will be a fundamental shift in Ocean County. The freeholder board will fall for the Democrats. The county government will fall to the Democrats. There's a lot at stake. Brick already went. Toms River, if that's next, there goes the county government also. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching the Toms River Show. I'll be right back.
Rama Jewelers, located in the Lyndhurst Shopping Center at 413 Valley Brook Avenue, Lyndhurst. Come for all your jeweler needs at Rama Jewelers, where you will find a fine selection of necklaces, earrings, rings, and bracelets. Choose from one of our complete sets, our many signature items, or find the perfect engagement ring. Come on down. That's Rama Jewelers at 413 Valley Brook Ave, Lyndhurst. Call 201-939-5784 or visit us online today.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers the quality of life you deserve in 10 high-rise rental towers with amenities such as the on-site Newport Path subway, light rail and ferry service, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams Supermarket is just outside your front door. A health and fitness club, spa, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. NewportNJ.com. Enjoy the New York skyline from Newport Town Square. Manhattan is just one path stop away or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Want to visit Newport? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. Go to NewportNJ.com for details. Newport has luxurious towers, great restaurants, shopping, New York skyline views, schools, playgrounds, a marina and yacht club, gym, spa, fine wine, fine living. It's incredible. It's you. NewportNJ.com. Newport. Live like you want.
We're back. Toms River Show. Pat O'Melia here. You concerned resident there. Yeah, I write these things, but I very seldom do I actually look at what I write. This one's an interesting one. Jersey City, again, where I compare everything. You know, actually, the candidates for mayor in Toms River should go up and sit with Mayor Fuller for a while. A lot of similarities. Jersey City lost a legal case about an Oprah request for dog license information. The judge awarded this particular company $10,000, and Jersey City has to pay it. We're going to appeal it. Jersey City and a lot of other municipalities do not want to give out your personal info for commercial endeavors. Now, what happened? A company selling invisible fences for dogs offered the city of Jersey City and asked for all, the names and addresses and all the personal info for the people who receive dog licenses. Now, personally, I didn't know we even gave them out in Jersey City. I learned something. Jersey City, I didn't think we had dog licenses, but we do. And Robert Burns and the city administration said, we would rather not give out this information for a commercial purpose. What the person, this company was going to do was take all that information and start calling you, calling these people. You're interested in a visible dog, we got your name, we got your phone number, and in a lot of cases, the phone numbers. The city didn't want to comply, and same with other municipalities, and they all lost. And this guy's making $10,000 on this in the first place. Really, what needs to be done, instead of the towns and the cities being worried about giving out personal info for commercial gains or worse, we need to start protecting that information. It shouldn't be so readily available. We're not in the 50s and the 60s anymore. This is the world of identity theft. And we need to protect your information. Your town hall, your city hall needs to protect your information. You get into a fender bender, have a little, accident. you won't have to go to the police headquarters in 3 or 4 days to pick up a copy of your accident report. It'll be mailed to you by about 10 different legal firms looking to represent you. Now, how did they get that? Well, they got it from the police. It's public information. That police report has all your information on it. There's your name, your home address, your driver's license number, everything there. Some cases, your phone number. Readily available. Now, keep in mind, you're doing all you can to protect your identity from identity theft. Yeah, you're there, you're trying to protect your information. You got your PIN number, you got your 4-digit PIN number, you got your passwords. You probably have 40 different passwords. I know I counted up mine at one point. It was up to like 47 different passwords. Because they always say, never use the same password twice. Well, every effing thing needs a password. And there's no way we can mentally remember all these things. It gets to the point you start putting your passwords on your computer. Or you just get to the point where I don't care anymore. Yeah, you want to hack me? Go ahead. I just can't remember all these passwords. You're shredding information. Shred that paperwork. Shred that envelope. Got our name on it. Shred that. You got the black market thing for the Amazon boxes. Your name's on there. You're doing everything you can to protect your identity. Then the city is giving out your information. Now, it's not the city's fault. It's part of the federal law and state law. What is public information? That was all okay back in the old days when you had to drag yourself down to City Hall and go through like these huge books. And I'm not kidding you. Books would be like 5 foot by 5 foot, and you had to leaf through these things. This is what used to happen. So nobody was doing it. But now, you can get the city clerks to do it for you. Or you can do it on your home's information is all online. Lock, block. Who owned it? What's the history of the house? What's your phone number? All that is accessible from a keyboard. Again, your PIN and you're doing your PIN number, you're shredding envelopes, you're blacking out the address on the Amazon box, you're shredding, you're doing all you can. You're coming up with passwords with your dog, every dog you ever had, every combination of dogs you ever had, birthdays, whatever it gets, how many cars, the first car you had and the last car you're doing all these safeguards to protect your identity, and there's all your information. There it is. There's your address. There's your name. There's your phone number. That accident report, there's your driver's license. All this is there for the taking. That we need to protect. That we got to talk to our assembly people and our state senators. We got to crank this back here. It's a different world from when we put these laws in place in the first place. No, you're not going to City Hall anymore, going through huge books. You're just doing this online. And the other thing, if you pay your taxes, your property taxes online, what do you think about this? Target got hacked. Facebook got hacked. I think it was Rite Aid got hacked. Walmart got hacked. You know, every restaurant you ever went to got hacked. Visa got hacked. Master all got hacked. How difficult do you think it would be to hack Toms River Town Hall or Jersey City City Hall and get all your credit card information? These are the things we're trying to protect, but when we get to the municipal level, things get shaky. All right, I'm out of show. You be good, you be safe. I'll talk to you during the week. Good night.